Welcome back to In Ohio Country today, and we're here in beautiful Paulding County, in the county seat of Paulding, Ohio. And joining me now is Tim Copsey, and Tim is the director of the Paulding County Economic Development. Tim, thanks for joining us.
No problem, Dan. Thanks for having me.
We're here courtesy of our friends at Paulding Putnam County Electric. And before we get started, let's talk a little bit about that kind of relationship that you have with Paulding County Electric.
Paulding Putnam is a very good member of our community. They make sure that we have resources when we need them as far as some things outside the box. But they are, overall, their business model is outstanding. They continue to hire locally, whether that be wherever they serve. And they serve Paulding County, Putnam County, and some Indiana counties as well. They are a great provider for information and power for Paulding County.
Tim, let's talk about how you landed in this position as director. It's not like you're unfamiliar with economic development here in Paulding County.
That's true. I spent 34 years, grew up in Antwerp, spent 34 years at the glass factory over there, now Paragon Tempered Glass. Did some traveling around the country in sales and customer service, and now I was on the board for the last 2 years here for economic development, and that led me into taking over this director position.
You know, Paulding County may not be one of the largest as far as population is concerned here in the Buckeye State. We're talking 20, maybe 25,000 people at best, right?
19,000 at the last count. We're hoping the census shows we've grown a little bit.
But that doesn't disprove the fact that it's one of our biggest agricultural counties and a good industrial commercial base as well.
Oh, we have great industrial. We have our agricultural side is outstanding, and #1 county in the state right now in green energy.
Let's talk about that agricultural base, Tim. You know, of course, last year with all the flooding we had up here in Northwest Ohio, and the fact that this used to be the old black swamp, if you will, there's not a lot of runoff. And when you get that kind of historic rains that we got last year, there was a lot of prevent plant, but we do have a lot of positive things happening from a farming perspective, and one of those is the association between the farmers and the wind producers here in the county.
That is correct. The farmers are generally the ones that are leasing their land for the use of those windmills, and we have found a very good mix between letting the windmills come on their farms, yet they can farm around them and still do their lifetime goal of being a farmer, and it's paying dividends for the county.
You know, of course, we were on our way up here today scoping out the fields, the soybean fields that have been planted, the corn, of course, the wheat about ready to come up, but it's more than just those three main crops. You've got a good livestock producing base up here, including our friends at Cooper Farms.
Cooper Farms is the largest employer in the county, and obviously they are in many counties outside and around the area as well. So we work with them as much as we can. They continue to supply livestock and chickens and all kind of animals, and their feed trucks are going to go by here the whole time we're doing this interview. So they're all over the county. They are a great steward of their returning money to the communities as well, and do an outstanding job for us in Paulding County with that.
It's a beautiful county too. Let's talk a little bit about the lifestyle availability here for those who want to move or live in this part of Northwest Ohio. It has a lot to offer, doesn't it?
We have way more to offer than people even realize. This time of year, with the rivers right now and the sites that they've put in, the Vision Board has done a great job of promoting those kind of things. We've gotten some sites along the Maumee River. There are beautiful entry and exit points on the Auglaize River. It's unusual to go by one of those spots and not see a car sitting there with somebody on the river right now. The weather's been perfect for this. Yeah. And so we have that going on. One of our biggest contributors to the lifestyle here is sports. And we've now been able to put baseball and softball back on the field again. So there's a lot of good things going on here.
You know, of course, the Auglaize River and the Maumee River fall in part to the Lake Erie watershed here in the western Lake Erie Basin. And, of course, the big topic prior to planting season this year was the governor's H2 Ohio program. Can you talk a little bit about that and the initiative and what it means for economic development here in the county?
We definitely want to keep the waters green because, again, it's one of the big draws here for our communities and our county. And so our farmers, I believe, always have done an outstanding job of being good stewards of the um area fields and the way they take care of maintaining them and spraying them. And I think it's just playing right into their hands.
When we look at that kind of growth and we look at that kind of development, making sure you have the natural resources to be able to bring in a business or to expand a business is important. And as the director of the economic development, you know firsthand that those resources can make a difference when it comes to the bottom line.
They absolutely can. In just my short time of 6 months here with the in the office, one of the biggest contributing factors to our possible growth is the fact that we have a lot of real estate. People outside the county that are looking to expand or to bring business in, they understand that we have a lot of real estate here in the county that could be developed, and we get some water things going on here. I think we're going to be setting pretty good.
Of course, we're recovering, if you will, from the COVID-19 crisis. And you guys have been doing some very interesting things when it comes to making sure that the businesses that are here in Paulding County stay viable amid the COVID-19 crisis.
Correct. Again, our vision board started a program where we would um, like to bring in some private funds to be distributed amongst these small businesses that might be struggling. The PPP from the state for small businesses came out, and it really didn't include a lot of the 1 to 10 size businesses. And so, but with the vision board and the help from the United Way and the Area Foundation, and then it'll be distributed through our Office of the Economic Development. Um, we've come up with some funds. We're currently sitting at around $7,000 that we've put out grants for that people can apply for their business, tell us their story, and we'll distribute that money accordingly to help those small business owners.
And is this something that will continue if the COVID-19 situation expands or comes back in the fall?
It looks like we're going to be able to leave this set up as a standing fund, and anyone that wanted to contribute to that going forward at any time could. And we'll continue to monitor when we think we need to distribute and help businesses out.
It sounds like there's a really unique public-private partnership that takes place here in Paulding County. Why don't we talk a little bit about that and individuals like Larry Mance, who we've interviewed for our television show, and their involvement in making sure that this is a viable place for businesses to come and grow.
Our Economic Development Board is made up of businessmen and women from around the county, and they are the ones that kind of guide and lead where they would like me to go with things for economic development growth. And we are tied in with all of the area 501c3s, but also our membership comes from business in the county. So that's the majority of our funding, and it is a great mix. And we make sure that we continue to support and communicate with all of those businesses at any time.
Let's once again talk about that relationship that you have with suppliers like Paulding Putnam County Electric. It's nice that you have that communication, the base of that public-private partnership, but without the utilities, nobody's going to be able to run anything.
That is correct. The utilities do drive it all. One of my early goals was to get with all the utilities and make sure that we stayed in tight with them. Ironically and thankfully, Paulding Putnam's CEO, George Carter, is one of our board members. So he is definitely in touch with everything that's going on and helps lead and guide this county forward.
Before we let you go, let's talk a little bit about those other members that are part of the board and some of the individuals that help make that economic development roll.
Larry Mans is the president of our board. He is the sales and marketing director at InSource. Dennis Recker is our vice president. He is at Integrity Ford, a salesman at Integrity Ford. Sarah Noggle is our county extension agent, and she's our secretary. Jim States is with the financial side at the state bank. Mike Kauser of Kauser Trucking is on our board. Bud Koenig is with Cooper Farms. Mayor Greg White from the Paulding Mayors Association is on there. And so along with those individuals, we do have an open seat on there right now that we are looking to fill. So there is room for growth from the community. If they would like to join in, we could certainly use more input. So it is a great mix. It is a great influx. And the best thing about the county is the camaraderie, and everyone is working together, which we're continuing to promote through the vision board and through our office now. And we've held a county realtors group meeting. We've held a county mayors group meeting, is now up and running again. And then we've also held the county HR managers meeting. So we're trying to incorporate everybody in together more and more.
Tim, if people want more information about Paulding County, where do they go?
PCED.net is our website. They can reach out to our office at 419-399-8282, or they can email me at director@pced.net.
You know, it's got to be pretty exciting. We're in front of the courthouse here. Lots of activity here in the downtown area. So if you hear that noise, that's a positive thing here in Paulding County, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And it's from my office, I can't see directly out on the square, but nearby you see how many different businesses and companies are working in the town here, passing through Paulding. It's pretty good to see.
It's always good to see when it comes to economic development. And from the courthouse steps in Paulding, Ohio, you've been watching In Ohio Country today. We'll be back with more right after this.